excited about what's happening with the company, sharing some of the stories. And he just got back from an amazing world tour, let's just say world tour, international big event. And I'm always excited. I'm always pumped up. We have an amazing company. There's no question about it. The best that I've ever seen in over 30 plus years of being in this industry. And when he was just sharing some information about his trip, about the company, where we are, his vision, et cetera, ladies and gentlemen, Maria and I just got so pumped up about this. And I said, David, we got to get some people on the call here, get a Zoom. They need to hear you. They need to see you. There's thousands of people that are joining our company nationally and internationally. A lot of new people are going to be able to meet the CEO up close and personal for the very first time tonight. And Maria and I are excited to host this. Hopefully, we're going to bring our buddy Todd on here in just a little bit because we're going to do a little fireside chat, if you will, hearing the amazing story of our company, who we are, what we do, and of course, how we can benefit people, as well as David just sharing some of the insights behind the scenes and behind the curtains this evening. So, Maria, I couldn't be more excited about this. What about you?
Yes, this is so unbelievable. And thank you guys so much for joining us. This is so great that, a lot of you, this is the first time that you're meeting our CEO. So we're real excited about that. We'll give you an opportunity for those of you that want to, you can open up your cameras, and we'll make sure that, David can see everybody and see all your smiling faces. These is so cool that it just looks and you can see the hearts there. So we're giving hearts to the hearts. If you do have reactions, make sure that you guys put up your reactions and show some love for David Hart. But this is so unbelievable.
Okay, well, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Just a little bit of background. David is one of the smartest guys that we've ever met. I think one of the smartest men on planet. He was a finalist for Entrepreneur of the Year for Inc. magazine.
Yes.
He actually pioneered the mobile car wash industry in Southern California. He's earned millions of dollars in this industry as a leader in the direct sales industry, the industry that we're in right this second.
That's right. And I love the fact that if David says he's going to do something, you can take it to the bank. He has a way of figuring things out, no matter how tough or how many challenges that he runs into. Very few people, honestly, have the energy, tenacity, or even stamina to stay the course and get the job done. So when he says he is building a legacy company, you can take that to the bank.
Now, Maria and I, we've known several CEOs over the 3 decades plus our career in this industry. And when we're asking and we're getting to know them and we want to find out a little bit more about their vision, well, from every one of them, 99.999% of them, it is all ego driven. You hear things like, hey, well, we're going to be the biggest and the best company out there. We're going to be $1 billion company in 2 minutes from right now. So that's what most of the CEOs, they tell you, and they just try and tell you that, hey, you can be part of the founders group, just go buy that package, $3,000, and you could be in the inner circle, if you will. Now, some of you out there, you can put some hearts on because you know exactly what I'm talking about, those type of CEOs out there.
Yeah, and David talks in terms of we may not be the fastest, but we will be around the longest, providing a great service and sending the checks out every time on time. And that's so wonderful. I mean, how many of you right now, raise your hand, would like to get a serious check every single week for the rest of your life and beyond? That's who David Hart is. And some people, you know what, they might take that for granted, but we guarantee, Daryl and I, we do not.
We met David about 25 years ago, and we literally became fast friends. We met at one of the presentations. It was a big convention. We had nothing to do with one another as far as upline, downline. From the first time we met, Marie and I knew that David was just a great guy, and he hasn't changed over those 25 plus years we've known him. There's a reason, ladies and gentlemen, that we're doing things in travel that no one is doing. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, send some hearts if you know that we're doing things in travel that nobody else is doing. There's a reason why we're doing things in recognition that no other company is doing. Just think about the Super Bowl ring at the 2-star. That is the best in this industry, recognizing people at such a small level like that, giving them an opportunity to get the recognition. If you know what I'm talking about, send some more heart. Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing things in compensation plan that no other company is doing. And if you know, send some hearts. Let's let David know. We definitely appreciate that as well.
That's right. And there's a reason that we're breaking records and changing lives all over the world. And it's not by accident. David has a big dream and a vision. He had a big dream and a vision over 12 years ago to launch this company that will allow people to succeed quickly, showing average people how to earn above average income, and sharp people, oh, they get to earn insane money, and a service that has unbelievable value in the marketplace and keeps getting better every single year.
Now, Todd and I and other leaders, we could actually go back and show you. Remember when we had no points, you had no points. And
Right.
when we had one world tour, guys, it gets better every single time. David's an amazing father,
Yes.
loves his family. He's a God-fearing man. His beautiful wife, Adela,
Shout out to Adela.
she is just a special lady. They say, behind every successful man, there's a successful woman helping him and guide him. And I can't say enough about her. I know you love her so much,
Love
and
her
she just
so
makes
much.
everybody feel very, very special.
Absolutely, a powerhouse, a true powerhouse, and they are a true power couple. But yeah, definitely love you, Adela. Thank you so much. But Daryl and I, Todd and Gina, we've really been blessed to have known David and Adela for a quarter of a century. That is absolutely an unbelievable honor.
And it's our great honor, ladies and gentlemen, right now to introduce the CEO of Travorium,
Travorium,
Mr.
Mr.
David
David
Hart.
Hart.
Give it up some hearts for this guy. David, we're going to bring you on here. We know you just
All
got
right.
from a international tour here, and the numbers were just impressive. And I know you could be resting tonight, but you decided to come on and share some wisdom and some insights and some vision. So good evening to you. Good evening to Adela. And if the family's with you, good evening to them as well.
Yeah, there. Hi guys, thank you for that introduction. I and the stories too. It's crazy, when you say, "Oh, for a quarter of a century, 25 years we've known each other." Woo! But that's all part of the process of finding success. It's about relationships that you have and you hold on to for a long time. And when you work together and have a common goal, good things happen. So, and you guys are doing a phenomenal job with your network and training people. Both of you guys are such students of the industry, teachers of the industry, and helping people overcoming fears, overcoming the challenges to build a successful business. And I appreciate you guys for that.
Thank you.
And so this call, I called Daryl because him and I hadn't talked in several weeks, and I just wanted, just to say hi to him and see how he was doing, and just kind of let him know, what was going on in on the other side of the world in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan or Kyrgyzstan, I guess. I think that's how you say it. And he could just sense. I think you sensed my enthusiasm and excitement. And I was telling him that there's magic that's about to happen because of the enthusiasm and excitement. You just feel it all around you from everybody that's in business. And he said, "Hey, can I get like 15 people on a call on a Sunday night and just come on and just talk to some key people and help them and just kind of share what you're telling me?" Because he was excited. And how many people do we have on the call right now?
There's almost 300,
So we
290.
so we went from 15 to almost 300. That's cool. I like that. So
Hey, that's
so for
network
those of you
marketing.
that
Lori
yeah,
likes
I
that.
love it.
Laughing.
Yeah, absolutely. So while I was over there, You know what? I always talk about defining your why, what you want in life. And while I was over there, you know, I've talked about this a lot in the last couple of years. And my why or my purpose is really to empower people and give them hope and prosperity in something that I'm good at, which is being an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur, a business owner before I was an adult, but at 19 years old, I started my own company and worked extremely hard and have never been an employee. And found network marketing in my late 20s. And of course, Daryl and Maria, met them about that time, and met Todd and Gina Strand all at that same time as we were in a company together. And I really wanted to, in my life, when I think about, is empower Todd and Gina Strand all at that same time as we were in a company together. And I really wanted to, in my life, when I think about, is empower other people to find success by running their own business. And, that's key. What is your purpose? My purpose is not how big is my bank account. My purpose is to serve other people and show other people through becoming an entrepreneur and through the business of Travorium, how we can bring hope and prosperity in their life, and they can gain back control of time and money. Because through our compensation plan and daily pay, you can truly do that. And that number is different for different people, right? Buying back their time. And so Daryl asked me to come on and just talk with some people about what is it? Why is this group growing so fast? And I wanted to give it to you guys this way. So about 9 months ago, or a little over, maybe closer to a year, the thought or the idea about opening up in Kazakhstan was birthed. And a few people came in a few months later than that, so not even a year in the business. And they struggled, but they were excited. We had no, they speak Kazakh and Russian language over there. We have no videos in those languages. We don't have documentation in those languages. Our support system there is not the best. We don't really have too many getaways in that marketplace. Our world tours development in that side of the world is not like what you guys experience here in the United States. And but they had a dream and a desire and a passion to build the business. And it's interesting what's taken place in the last 2 weeks. More than 1,000 people have come into the organization of Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. 1,000 people have come into the business, new enrollments into the company. Over the last 6 months, more than 2,500 enrollments have come into the business. And I remember telling the leaders, I said, listen, if you guys, if you put 1,000 people into the business on active auto ships, I will fly into your country. I will set up a corporation there, and we'll do business as normal and operations in that side of the world. And they actually fulfilled their side of the agreement, and I always fulfill my side of the agreement. So I started out I think it took me 24 hours of flight time to get there with the layover in Istanbul. When I got to Istanbul, I was in the lounge, and during that time, at the same time I was in the lounge in Istanbul, the the war broke out in between Israel and Iran. And so they had heightened security around getting to the gates and checking in early on the planes. And I had never seen anything like that before. Well, you can imagine, big guy on a plane flight, 14, 15 hours, whatever it was. I got to the lounge. On the board, the ticket board, it said, hey, you're going to go to this gate. You're going to go to gate E. And you need to be there. I figured I need to be there 30 minutes before the gate. Come to find out, they changed the gate as I left the lounge, and I didn't check. I missed the flight.
Oh.
I got stuck, and then because I missed that flight, I got stuck in Istanbul for a couple extra days. It was a big challenge for me to be there. for an extra 2 days. There was no flights to get to Kazakhstan. But finally, I got to the country of Kazakhstan. And why do I tell you that? I think, a lot of times so let me back up. So I ran to the wrong gate. I went to gate, I think it was gate E, which is on the other side of this giant international airport. And my flight wasn't leaving from what I thought. I was like, oh my God. So I looked on the board and said flight B now boarding. I said, well, I mean, we got to go to the B section, the gate B, whatever it was, which is on the other side of the airport. So I sprinted all the way over there. Thought I was going to have a heart attack. Hadn't slept in forever, but I got there and the guy closed the door on me. Literally closed the door and said, I'm sorry, sir, we can't let you in. And he closed the door and walked down and got on the plane. I thought, man, that was a tough thing to swallow. A lot of challenges in that. Why am I sharing that story? Because sometimes in the travel industry, I think that things don't go perfect. They say 20% of the flights, something goes wrong with about 20% of the flights. And I couldn't put the blame on anybody else but me. It just what it was. It just happened that way. Why am I sharing that story? I guess because in the travel space, a lot of people try to put the blame on other people, or when a lot of times it's on them. So anyway, so let me get into these stats here that I think are pretty amazing. What is the magic? Why are they having so much success over there? How are they building the business so fast? And the first thing that I noticed was the enthusiasm and the energy that everybody in their organization had. It was just incredible. Some of their statistics and accomplishments. There's more than 100 ranks of 1-star directors or above in those two countries. And like I said earlier, they don't speak English. Customer service for them, they're 12 hours ahead of us. So their customer service is a lot different than what you guys experience here in the States. I remember talking to a gal. She is a woman. She is a 4-star director in the business. She started in January, and she's about to go ambassador in the company. She started, I don't know, 4 months ago, not even 4 months ago, really. And she'll probably be an ambassador, in the next 30 to 60 days, maybe sooner than that, actually. And during her process of building her downline, her husband passed away about 45 days ago. But yet she decided to keep building the company. She's also a professor and teaches medicine, English medicine to people. So she's got a pretty full schedule, pretty full calendar. But yet she makes no excuses on building her business. Never been involved in network marketing before. Husband was extremely excited about what he saw with Travorium, and they were all in. And she decided to stay focused and continue to build the business. So challenges come and happen, and I think that's a whirlwind of a challenge, losing your spouse, right? But yet she stayed focused. I can think of another warrior that did the same in Deborah Taylor. Another story, another individual of a person I got to meet and spend a little time with, and that's Gulsum Shakanova. And she's an amazing story. She's been involved in network marketing before, also was a doctor, a children's doctor as well. Single mom of 3 kids, in her mid-60s. And she shared with me that she didn't know if she could ever find true success in business again. She had been through so many challenges in her life, and you could just feel the energy and the sincerity, and I guess the gratefulness that she has for being able to build a Travorium business. And it's interesting, in the last 30 days she's made $34,000. She's been involved in our company now for about a year. She's absolutely killing it in business. And we've gone back and forth in emails before. I got to meet her in person. And she has got a work ethic like no other. Every single day, she's either doing Zooms or meeting with people, helping her team grow. personally recruiting people in her business, just going after it. And so I got to ride. We went from Kazakhstan to Kyrgyzstan, which is about a 4-hour drive. You have to go through the border. It's a long drive. It's kind of like in the back roads too. It's like you're like, wow, this is like country, and people drive crazy. They pass on curves. We were in a van, and there was two vans that went up there, about 12 to 14 leaders, and myself and the drivers drove from Almaty, Kazakhstan to Kyrgyzstan, and we did a meeting there. And in that drive, I had a translator with me, and I got to hear her story, and I got to hear her the challenges she gone through. And a lot of times people think that success is, people that find success, they don't go through any issues or challenges or heartaches. But she really opened up and shared a lot of challenges and heartaches that she had gone through, even in the process before we get involved in Travorium, but even in Travorium. But she just had made a mental decision that she was going to make this happen. And as it started to happen, you know what? Her paycheck grew a little bit, her enthusiasm grew a little bit. And because she stayed positive and because she continued to work, all kinds of great things have taken place for Golsom. And I believe it's just the beginning in her business. And another story, Abraham, who sponsored, there's a lady in between Abraham and who's a 3-star director and Golsom. And I can't remember her name, but it'll come to me before. Hopefully I'll remember her name, but she's going to be an ambassador too. But Abraham's story is pretty incredible. He has never done network marketing before, Daryl. Never.
Wow.
Never done network marketing. While I was there, after our first meeting, the very next day, he went 1-star ambassador. So he went from never doing network marketing, to getting involved in our company, to achieving the level of ambassador, and then hitting 1-star ambassador. And he's been in the business, again, less than a year at 1-star ambassador in our business.
Wow.
His wife's actually the 1-star ambassador. He's a 2-star director. So if I get that correct, yeah, he's a 2-star director and she's a 1-star ambassador. And let me tell you, this couple, they've been involved they're in their early 60s. They've been involved in the travel industry for 4 decades.
Mm.
They have a tour operator's license. They have 30 licensed travel agents that work for them. They do all the travel for all of the government people of Kazakhstan. They facilitate and run all the Olympic Games and their games that they have over there. They actually have a different type of Olympic Games that they do. They're called what do they call the different kind of games where the people are riding horses and shooting bow and arrows and throwing spears. It sounded totally cool. I said, hey, I want to go do this. They said, come back, you'll be my guest. I think my boys, if you can see my boys in the background, they probably like to go do that too. So, but here's a guy that's got 4 decades of experience in the travel industry, and he's made billions of dollars. He looked at our platform and says, this is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And here's a guy that has experience in the industry, gets everything at wholesale rates, 30 plus people working for him, but yet he saw the value in Travorium. He introduced me to a gentleman in Kyrgyzstan that is the head of the Department of Tourism for that government. He is also involved in Travorium.
Wow.
People are showing up in the company getting involved that have incredible backgrounds in the travel industry because they see the value in the product, guys. They see what we're doing. Like it's that group, they spend no time really talking about our product. I got to see Igor Nikitsky do the presentation in Almaty, and I had a translator the whole time translating in my ear his presentation, and she goes, "Are you getting all this?" I go, "Well, yeah, because I wrote the plan. I know this PowerPoint, but keep going. I want to hear the story." And literally, Igor, who's a 3-star ambassador in the business, his wife Larissa, they're an incredible team. She's a 1-star ambassador. I think she's very close to becoming a 2-star ambassador in our business. And you know what? They'll make more than $500,000 this year in the business together as a husband and wife. And they've been involved in our company for, not much over a year and a half. So they're doing extremely well. He did a couple examples. I think he did a couple examples on the getaways, a couple examples on the world tours, one example on the travel site. And then guess what, guys? He put up that slide and he built a dream on our compensation plan. He talked about how many memberships that it takes at each level. And I thought that was just so powerful. Meeting finishes, people are excited about the business, about the opportunity. And to be honest with you, they're excited about what they see in it for them, about it's about they found hope. People find hope and desire on what they can achieve through the company. And then they go after it and build it. And Daryl, so you asked me like, hey, what was the magic behind what's going on over there? And it is their enthusiasm. It is their excitement. And it's the positive energy that they bring. I was telling Adela earlier today, Daryl, you and I spoke earlier today, and I was telling her, I said, I don't think I've ever been on the phone where you go negative. You are the epitome of positiveness. You and Maria, you guys are incredible.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
And that's where it starts. And I would say that group, because they haven't had it easy to build the business. It's not like they get on the phone and they get to listen to you guys or Todd and Gina Strand or myself. We don't speak the same language. Our cultures are completely different.
Yeah.
When it's 5 o'clock in the evening time here, it's 5 a.m. there. Their customer service hours, they have to roll by our hours, right? Everything they do has a hurdle in it to get it done. But to see their enthusiasm and their energy on what they believe can happen and what's happening for many of them is incredible. And so I think some of the magic is the enthusiasm, is the excitement, yes. But I think some of the magic is for them is that the leadership is very positive. Mm-hmm. It has to be that way.
Yeah.
Because they've got challenges that they've gone through building their business to this point. And so what do? They focus on the money. That's really what they do. And then my final thought that I would just share with you guys is what it takes to win. I'm a big believer in just having grit. What is grit? It's overcoming whatever the challenge is. It's just not quitting. It's not giving up. It's going through whatever the process an individual goes through. A lot of times we build this business and we're fighting ourselves, or we're fighting the people that, love us and care about us. You might have a spouse that says, hey, that doesn't work. Why are you spending money? Do it anyways. You might be laying in bed one night and your wife says to you, maybe it'd be better if you just go get a job. And you say, hey, I'm going to do this anyways. I think grit is more important than reading 10 good pages of a book every day, to be quite honest with you. No, I believe reading 10 pages of a good book is good because I think it changes your mental mindset, and it also adds to your capacity to be able to communicate better with people. I think being trained by people that are at in life where you want to be is equally as good, but I don't think it's more important than grit.
Nope.
Grit is being able to overcome whatever your circumstance is. Be able to commit and say, I'm not going to quit. I will figure it out. I will find a way. So, for all of you guys out there, we are, you know, in the month of April, more than 2,000 people are going to come into the company in terms of new enrollments. And we are not even in momentum yet. We're not here. That won't happen until 2025. What does that mean exactly? What that means is that you're going to see a whole new mindset, a whole new energy level of enthusiasm and excitement of 2025. And a lot of people are going to get caught up with that because you know what? Success begets success. When you hang around successful people and you flow with their energy and you grab a hold of that excitement, guess what? The business becomes bigger than just you, right? Meaning that there are people because of the organization that are, I guess, passing on their energy, their enthusiasm, their excitement, and it takes hold all over the place. Daryl, you and I and Maria, Todd, and Gina, we experienced that back in 1998. Remember that? The
Yeah.
company was going into momentum and
Yes.
people were finding success because it was a different mindset or an attitude. And that product wasn't better than the product that we have today. It was $1,200 to get in, right? Way back when.
Right.
Didn't have a comp plan like what we have today either.
Nope.
So you had to build three legs and they had to be perfectly even. And the back end residual check was just not very good. Everything was built on making money on new enrollments. Our compensation plan is evenly balanced, but it's based on residual income, this daily pay that creates stability in a paycheck, in your commission checks, and your ability to earn income in your business. It's not a paycheck. Let me scratch that verbiage. It's your business, it's your profit, but it creates stability with all the different things that we have in place. So anyways, that's really my take on it. I appreciate you guys. I know that I'm blown away that there's this many people on the call, to be quite honest with you. I probably would have prepared differently and sat on my computer and had a little PowerPoint. I thought we were going to do a little powwow with 15 people, but you know what? Hey, the more the merrier. Yeah. And you know, sometimes, you know, just kind of sharing from the heart and shooting from the hip is a good way to go. I mean, I'm no different than anybody else on this call. I just probably a little older and started a little sooner, and for sure I have grit. I don't quit whatever I start. Whatever I set my mind to, I complete the task. And you know, as far as our principles in business, you know, we have three principles in our company. Is one, the first the principle is that our product has to have value in the marketplace of travel. And if you travel and you understand our product, you'll see it real quick. Number two, our comp plan has to be set up for the average person to win. You know, being involved in this industry for as long as I have, and I've made 7 figures a year as a distributor in network marketing. I've seen lots of compensation plans, and I've seen people at the top make money. But what I've not, a lot of times I don't see is where the average person could make a few bucks. They can make a residual pay. And that's here at this company. So if you're willing to go to work, you too can be successful. But you know, ambassador lifestyle is an incredible lifestyle, and it can be built with really relatively a small team. You know, it's not you doing the work alone, but when you have 188 memberships on each leg, you're an ambassador in our company. That's a small team. Typically, it's 4 to 5 to 10 times bigger to get to the same kind of income you can make as an ambassador. And then finally, the third thing is that people do matter. Daryl, you and I have been involved in companies where the corporate doesn't really care about the field. They don't look at it from the lens of what the distributor goes through. Well, spending as much time as I have on the other side as a distributor, I see that. And you know, there has to be a balance there. There has to be you have to care about people. If you build a successful organization like you guys have, like some of the other leaders have, the only way you get there is by pouring into other people, by caring about other people. And there cannot be a disconnect from corporate to the field where corporate doesn't care about people. It's a symbiotic relationship all the way through. And that's why you see the type of bonuses that we have in place, you know, the Louis Vuitton experience, the ambassador trip every year, the bonus pools that we do, the daily pay at two-star director level, all the things that we do as a company. It's a way to show people that we care. So, yeah, I mean, that's it for me on my side. So,
Everybody, let's give David some hearts. We're not going to let him off that easy. We're going to keep him here another couple of minutes. But David, as you were talking, I've learned a long time ago about grit, and the reason I'm here today is because of grit. I mean, just flat out, I didn't have the mentors that are out there today. Of course, there was the Les Browns and the Jim Rohns and those type of people, but the direct connection that we have today with leaders that have proven themselves to become successful. I just had to do it. I just was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I did not want to work a job. I did not want to end up like my parents 30, 40 years later, dead and dead broke. I knew there was a better way. And, when I learned how to make failure my friend, when I didn't get so upset when I ran into the roadblocks, when I ran into the obstacles, when I had the distractions and all the challenges, when I learned that it didn't matter, you still continue to go forward. And you kind of hit that point so great tonight. That made all the difference in the world. And then I learned not to complain. There's people complain about everything. You can't do anything without people complaining. And remember that the upline, you can bring any type of negatives up, but positives down. It's tough enough. We don't want to make it harder on anybody else that are out there. But David, once I learned that if it's going to be, it's up to me. I needed to get excited. I needed to turn the TV off. I needed to read the books. I needed to talk to more people. I needed to make myself better and fight through whatever obstacle I had. That's when my life totally changed. And I cannot, I just love the day that we met, 25 years ago. And speaking of that, guys, we've got an amazing conference coming up July 13th. If you have not got your ticket for that event, there's a Friday night gala that's going to be happening, and then Saturday is going to be the company event. And guys, it's going to be unbelievable. David talks about before, and David, you want to add to this, that's fine. But David talked about the time that we met, Todd and I and Gina and the folks back in the day when we met at that meeting in Kansas. David wasn't about to come. He was about to do something different, but something pushed him. And I know what that someone is, and that's something to get him to go there. If he hadn't gone there, he tells his story that he might not even be in this business today. And guys, we all have challenges sometimes back in the day when finances weren't the best, and how do we get to these events, et cetera. We got this one, we got that one. But back in the day, when I couldn't make it to an event, but I figured out how to get there, that's when I saw the bigger picture. That's when I met people like a David Hart, a Della Hart, the Todd Strands and the other key leaders that were creating a brighter future for them and their family. You can't get that a lot of times just on a Zoom. You can't get that by just doing a three-way conference call. You've got to be there in the presence. Even if you go there, you don't get a chance to talk to David, you can see the aura and what he's doing and what he's about. So if you have not gotten your tickets, guys, tickets should be sold out this week. And leaders, we need to do a better job at communicating the information with our group to make sure that we are there and we're plugged in. But at the end of the day, if it's going to be, it's up to me. You can do whatever it is you want with this company and make failure your friend. When you do that, you won't mind failing. You're going to learn from those failures. And the next thing you know, we're going to be bringing you on as an ambassador and above. Yeah. Anything you want to close out with?
No, I just want to say that we'll make sure that we'll have there's tons of air conditioning when you come in July, just FYI. So don't worry about the heat.
About the heat.
But there's a lot of air conditioning, so we're okay. We're good. We got you guys.
All right, well, David, we're going to let you go because we know you've been traveling for a couple of weeks here, and you did some other traveling, and I know you just got some things to do and catch up on. So we're going to let you go. But I just, Todd, I don't know if you got on. I text you if you wanted.
Yeah, I'm here, buddy.
Oh, there you
okay.
are.
I'm here, buddy.
Hey, Todd, we miss you.
Todd's
Todd,
friend.
it's dark over here. Well, Todd, you go ahead and kind of close this out, but take whatever it is time you want. You already heard what's happening here. We wanted to put this together. A lot of great people are exploding here in the US. There's no debating it. There's new leaders that have come on board that are flat out what David said. They are excited. And if you get excited, that's going to create the momentum for you. Todd, take it away, buddy.
No, I just want to second what obviously Mr. David Hart said. In fact, there's a great book called Grit by Angela Duckworth. I would highly recommend you buy that book. Again, it's called Grit, Grit by Angela Duckworth. And she points out in that book that it's not talent, it's not this, it's not that, that separates the winners from the people that maybe also ran, right. It's the people who simply had that tenacity, they had that persistence, they had that consistency, they had that there is no quit in me. I'm going to keep going. I will go over, I will go under, I will go around, I will go through, I will keep trying. It's that remark you hear, you will soon see me at the top of the mountain or dead along the side, but I ain't coming back. And that epitomizes Mr. David Hart. That is who he is. His grit is unbelievable. In fact, even when you look at Navy SEALs, it's not the best athletes or the best that become Navy SEALs. It's the people that have the don't quit. I don't care how bad it hurts. I don't care how cold it is. I don't care how uncomfortable I am. I will not quit. And you can raise your own level of grit. That's not something people are born with. You can, and by reading books, by the way, sometimes you read the stories, you hear the different stories. And it's rather interesting when you hear about this incredible group in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. Well, our French team, by the way, when they first started, had the same kind of difficulties. We didn't have the website in French. We didn't have the videos in French. Today, we didn't have the things in the Kazakh language or the Russian language. And in spite of that, they grow faster than sometimes people who've got it all in their language. And so it's like, wow, isn't that interesting? Sometimes challenges make us better. Don't be bitter, get better. And when you have to overcome and have that grit, then it's no surprise their groups springboard sometimes further than other groups. For those of you who notice it's daylight, I'm still on the other side of the world. And so for you guys, it is almost 8 p.m. on the West Coast, 11 p.m. on the East Coast. For me, it is 7 or 8 in the morning right now. I'm in the Indian Ocean. We went to the Maldives after we left the World Tour in Dubai. The World Tour in Dubai was absolutely epic. We had ambassadors there in 4 different languages. It was incredible. Just spending time with everybody. I mean, to be there in that atmosphere. The resort is 5-star. I told Daryl we are underselling the place. I mean, I describe that trip to Dubai all the time on my own Zooms, and we are underselling it. And they have a skating rink in the middle of it. I mean, they got the 360-degree restaurant that spins 360 degrees at the top where you eat breakfast. You're overlooking the ocean. You're overlooking all of downtown Dubai. They have this incredible, breakfast buffet. It's an international buffet. They have cuisine from every part of the world because obviously they're catering to the, Arabic countries, the Indian culture. They're catering to the American culture, the Spanish culture. I mean, so it's incredible. They got the chefs there making up any way you want. And guys, we were there for $49. You couldn't buy breakfast there for $49. Again, we are doing things and travel that have never been done before. Then, as David mentioned, we are doing things in compensation. When you look at the ambassador lifestyle, I'm going to turn my camera around. So for those of you that don't know, this is where we are. We're in one of those private bungalows right above the ocean, or right above the water.
Where'd he go?
So you get a little private swimming pool here. You want to come down and get in the ocean. We have a coral reef right off the back of our deck. So we have scuba diving. I was scuba diving last night. There's my scuba gear. So you go scuba diving, but snorkeling. And so there's a coral reef right off the back deck. Just go down these stairs. Water is absolutely perfect. And when David mentioned Ambassador Lifestyle, David gave us all this power-up bonus. We didn't even have that power-up bonus a year ago. It's a brand new bonus. And guys, for the bonus a couple months ago was like $2,800. You can come here and get this place I'm at with the power-up bonus. I mean, when you become an ambassador, you can come get a place like this. I know for a lot of people, oh my gosh, that's my dream. Guys, on our travel site, there's all kinds of places on our travel site where you can rent a place just like this for a few $1,000. $2,800, $3,000, 5 days. Ours happens to include food twice a day. The buffet here is unbelievable. So it's got food twice a day. But again, when you become an ambassador, you're going to get to travel the world. You're going to get to do the kind of things that most people have only dreamed of doing. And it's all because the CEO and founder of ours had grit, unbelievable grit, that in spite of all the things that happened, in spite of some health challenges with it in his family, in spite of people who stole from the company, stole money, stole technology, in spite of vendors who didn't do what they were supposed to do, in spite of key leaders who said, "Oh, you can count on me," and then they quit and tried to steal people. In spite of all of those things, David Hart has now got one of the fastest growing network marketing companies in the entire world. And we are about to go out there and do some unbelievable things. We've not even hit momentum yet. But guys, the future is so bright. You got to wear shades, right? But the future is going to be absolutely incredible. And dear Maria, thank you for putting together this call. I mean, it was incredible. You mentioned last night that Dave was going to do a call. So I just told a few of my friends. I know you guys told a few of your friends. And here we are.
Yeah, we didn't want to limit it because when the word got out, some people want to hide things and do that. No, we just said, hey, the more the merrier. And if David is talking, everybody needs to listen. Todd, Angela Duckworth, that lady, if you Grit, you guys can go look up TED Talk, put her name in there. If you want to watch a 15-minute series on grit, the video, you can go do that right now before you get the book. But David Hart, thank you so much. We love you. Adela and the family, thanks for giving up David. Todd, Gina, we miss you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much for getting up early to get on here.